Imagine waking up each morning, not with dread for the tasks ahead, but with a sense of excitement and lightness. You feel genuinely engaged in each moment, finding joy not in reaching the end, but in savoring the journey. What if you could see every act in life not as work, but as a form of play, a dance you're free to express in your own way? This shift in perspective lies at the heart of Alan Watts' philosophy on life and purpose, urging us to question the rigid division between work and play and to seek a life that feels not only fulfilling, but freeing. Alan Watts, a philosopher known for his insights on spirituality and Eastern philosophies, challenges us to rethink our relationship with work, leisure, and purpose. In Western culture, we often separate work from play, seeing work as a means to an end, a necessary hardship to be endured so that we may later enjoy the reward of relaxation or fun. But what if this division doesn't have to exist? Watts suggests that by blending work with play, we can transform our lives, finding joy in each task and avoiding the burnout that often comes from rigid expectations and obligations. This mindset isn't about disregarding responsibility. Rather, it's about integrating pleasure and purpose in a way that revitalizes our daily experiences. The work-play dichotomy. Alan Watts introduces the idea of work and play as interdependent, each enriching the other when viewed with the right mindset. Consider his metaphor of archery. Watts describes his love for archery not as a means of achieving or accomplishing anything specific, but as an act of release and freedom. He enjoys the sensation of setting an arrow free, likening it to watching a bird soar before gracefully descending. There's no purpose in the act other than the pure enjoyment of doing it. Similarly, if we approached more aspects of life this way, the rigidity of work could dissolve, making room for spontaneity, creativity, and joy. Let's think about someone who cooks as a profession. A chef could approach cooking in two ways. One, as a job with the sole aim of producing meals quickly and consistently. Or two, as an art form, where every slice, every stir, becomes a dance of creativity and expression. In the second approach, the chef is more than a laborer. They're an artist. They find joy not just in the final dish, but in each step, each movement, and each aroma that fills the kitchen. This mindset shift allows the chef to feel inspired, fulfilled, and passionate, despite the long hours and physical demands. They're working, but they're also playing, exploring each task with a sense of wonder. In our own lives, we can introduce this spirit of play into even the smallest tasks. We might challenge ourselves to complete a report with a sense of artistry, finding creative ways to present data or inject meaning into otherwise routine work. Or we could transform a daily chore, like washing dishes or tidying up, into an act of mindfulness, where the rhythm of each action becomes a calming, meditative dance. Through small changes in perception, we can reduce stress and cultivate joy in unexpected places. The bus driver's lesson. Watts uses the example of a bus driver to illustrate how mindset can transform even the most routine tasks. Imagine a bus driver navigating through dense traffic, constantly on guard for pedestrians, signals, and other vehicles. For many, this would be a draining, stress-filled experience. But what if this driver viewed his job not as a duty, but as a game, a test of skill, patience, and precision? In doing so, he could approach each turn, stop, and start as part of a rhythm, much like a musician playing an instrument. Moving through traffic could become a kind of dance, with the flow of cars acting as partners rather than obstacles. The driver would end the day not exhausted, but energized, having found a sense of joy and purpose in the process. Many people adopt this mindset in various careers, from teachers who turn each lesson into a chance to engage students with creativity, to doctors who see each interaction as an opportunity to connect and heal. When we frame our tasks as games or art forms, we remove the weight of compulsion, leaving room for lightness and fulfillment. This approach doesn't negate the challenges, it reframes them, transforming work from a burden into an opportunity for expression, living in the present. The art of dishwashing. One of the most profound lessons Watts shares is the art of living in the present moment, illustrated by the simple act of washing dishes. Often, we approach chores with a sense of dread, focusing on the daunting pile of tasks ahead or resenting the repetition. Watts suggests a different approach. Instead of fixating on the endless dishes of the past or future, focus entirely on the one dish before you. By doing so, you immerse yourself in the present, free from the anxieties of what has been or what will be. Washing dishes in this mindset becomes not a task to complete, but a moment to experience. This practice of mindfulness has deep roots in both Eastern and Western philosophies. By fully engaging in the present, whether it's washing a dish, cooking a meal, or even working on a challenging project, we allow ourselves to find peace and enjoyment in the here and now. Imagine a student preparing for exams. Instead of stressing over the vast amount of material, they focus on each page, each concept, one at a time. This reduces the overwhelm and allows them to enjoy the process of learning rather than being consumed by the outcome. Practicing mindfulness in everyday life not only reduces stress, but also heightens our appreciation for ordinary moments. Small rituals, like making coffee, walking, or even cleaning, become opportunities to slow down, breathe, and reconnect with ourselves. Through mindfulness, we cultivate a sense of calm and fulfillment, no matter how mundane the task. The natural way of growth. In discussing purpose, Watts points to nature as a profound teacher. Plants, trees, and flowers grow without compulsion. They respond naturally to light, water, and soil, flourishing in harmony with their environment. There is no rush, no pressure to be anything other than what they are. Watts encourages us to view our own lives with the same gentle acceptance, allowing ourselves to grow and change without forcing outcomes. Imagine a flower that twists and turns, bending toward the light despite obstacles in its path. It doesn't fight the darkness or resist the seasons. It adapts, patiently finding its way toward the sun. In our lives, we encounter challenges, uncertainties, and setbacks. Rather than seeing these as barriers, we can choose to view them as part of the natural ebb and flow of growth. This perspective fosters resilience and adaptability, reminding us that life's challenges are often opportunities for personal transformation. In embracing a natural, unforced approach to growth, we cultivate patience and learn to trust the journey. Just as a tree takes years to reach its full height, we too require time to develop, each experience adding to our growth. By allowing life to unfold naturally, we find beauty not only in where we end up, but in each step along the way. Re-evaluating purpose, breaking free from obligation. A common theme in Watts' philosophy is the idea of obligation, how we often feel compelled to live in certain ways, driven by societal expectations or personal fears. Many people live their lives in pursuit of survival or success, feeling bound to continue in directions that may not resonate with them. Watts challenges this mindset, suggesting that life does not demand anything of us. We don't owe it to life to merely survive. Rather, we have the freedom to live fully, embracing what truly resonates with us. Consider someone who pursues a stable career path solely to meet others' expectations. They may achieve success by conventional standards, but deep down they feel unfulfilled, as though they're living someone else's life. Now imagine if they dared to pursue something they love, perhaps art, teaching, or travel. By stepping off the path of obligation, they might find a sense of freedom and authenticity that transforms their life. Watts' message here isn't to disregard responsibility, but to reconsider our motivations. When we live not out of compulsion, but out of genuine passion and curiosity, life becomes richer, allowing us to connect with ourselves and others in more meaningful ways. Embracing emotions as they are from childhood, we are often taught to suppress emotions, to keep it together, or not make a scene. Watts encourages us to embrace emotions naturally, viewing them not as weaknesses, but as essential parts of the human experience. Crying, laughing, feeling joy, sadness, or even frustration. These are all expressions of our inner world, signals of who we are and what we value. Imagine someone who, after years of suppressing their emotions, finally allows themselves to feel deeply, to cry when they're sad, or to laugh freely when they're happy. This act of vulnerability is liberating, reconnecting them with parts of themselves that have long been ignored. By expressing emotions openly, we foster authenticity in relationships and reduce the mental burden of repression. Zen and the Art of One-Note Mastery. Alan Watts recounts a story of a musician, Ali Akbar Khan, who spends hours practicing a single note, finding joy in the depth of that sound. This story highlights a profound truth. Fulfillment often lies not in variety, but in depth. In our fast-paced world, where multitasking is the norm, focusing intensely on one thing can be transformative. We become fully absorbed, finding richness in simplicity. For instance, someone learning a craft like painting may find that perfecting a single brushstroke, rather than rushing to complete a piece, brings a deeper sense of satisfaction. This mindset encourages us to approach each activity with presence and patience, exploring the richness of each moment rather than racing toward completion. The play of life, a spiritual perspective. In Hindu philosophy, life is often seen as Leela, or divine play, where every experience is part of a cosmic dance. This perspective reminds us that life is not meant to be taken too seriously. Instead, it is an opportunity to explore, express, and experience. By seeing life as play, we release the weight of obligation and embrace the freedom to create, to change, and to live authentically. Imagine someone who approaches life with a spirit of playfulness. They're not weighed down by the need for perfection or success. Instead, they move through challenges with curiosity, learning and adapting, dancing through life's ups and downs. This mindset doesn't remove hardships, but transforms how we experience them, seeing each as part of a larger, beautiful rhythm. Alan Watts's philosophy invites us to see life not as a series of tasks to complete, but as a dance, a play where we're free to express ourselves fully. By blurring the line between work and play, embracing our emotions, living in the present, and following our own paths, we unlock a life that feels fulfilling and vibrant. Life, in Watts' view, is a continuous journey, a dance to be enjoyed and savored, not a race to the finish line. So let's take a moment to breathe, to let go of expectations, and to find joy in each step of the dance, knowing that this moment, here and now, is all we truly have.